Imagine a person standing in front of the White House. Better still, imagine yourself sitting in front of the White House. That's you on the sidewalk. You stand peering through the fence over the lawn at the residence of the president. That's you. In fine form, hair in place and shoes shined. That's you turning toward the entrance. Your pace is brisk and your stride sure. It should be. You have come to meet with the president. You have a few matters you wish to discuss with him. First, there is the matter of the fire hydrant in front of your house. Could they soften the red just a bit? It's too bright. Then there's the issue of world peace. You're for it. Would he create it? And lastly, college tuition is too high. Could he call the admissions office at your daughter's school and ask them to lighten up? He might have some influence. All worthy issues, correct? Won't take more than a few minutes. Besides, you brought him some cookies that he can share with the First Lady and their puppy. So with bag in hand and a smile on your face, you step up to the gate and announce to the guard, "I'd like to see the president, please." He asks for your name and you give it. He looks at you and then at his list and says, "We have no record of your appointment." "You have to have an appointment?" "Yes." "How do I get one?" "Through his office staff." "Could I have their number?" "No, it's restricted." "Then how can I get in?" "It's better to wait until they call you." "But they don't know me." The guard shrugs. "Then they probably won't call." And so you sigh and turn and begin your journey home. Your questions are unanswered and your needs unmet. And you were so close. Had the president stepped out onto the lawn, you could have waved, and he would have waved back. You were only yards from the front door, but you might as well have been miles. The two of you were separated by the fence and the guard. Then there is the problem of the Secret Service. Had you somehow entered, they would have stopped you. The staff would have done the same. There were many, many barriers. And what about the invisible barriers? Barriers of time. The president's too busy. Barriers of status. You have no clout. Barriers of protocol. You have to go through the right channels. You leave the White House with nothing more than a hard lesson learned. You do not have access to the president. Your chat with the commander-in-chief? It ain't gonna happen. You'll have to take your problems about peace and your question about the fire hydrant with you. That is, unless he takes initiative. Unless he, spotting you on the sidewalk, takes pity on your plight and says to the chief of staff, "See that person with the sack of cookies? Go tell him I'd like to have a minute with him." If he gives such a command, all the barriers will drop. The Oval Office will call the head of security. The head of security will call the guard, and the guard will call your name. Guess what? I can't explain it, but the door to the Oval Office is wide open. You stop and turn, straighten your shoulders and center, and then you enter the same door where only moments before you were denied access. Guard is the same. The gates are the same. The security personnel are the same. But the situation is not the same. You can now go where before you could not. And what's more, you are not the same. You feel special, chosen. Why? Because the man up there saw you down here and made it possible for you to come in. Yeah, you're right. It's a fanciful story. You and I both know when it comes to the president, don't hold your breath. No invitation will arrive. But when it comes to God, pick up your cookies and walk in, because it already has. He has spotted you. He has heard you, and he has invited you. What once separated you has been removed. Now in Christ Jesus, you who were far away from God are brought near. Ephesians 2:13. Nothing remains between you and God but an open door.